Welcome back to the show. It's 7:48. We're so glad that you're listening. I'm Angela Poe Russell, in for Dave Ross. Okay, from the G and Ursula show, weekdays 9 to noon. Got to get that plug in here on Kyber Radio. You can listen to G. Scott. G is here because we're talking about this new study that came out that 1 in 3 Seattleites are considering leaving the Emerald City.
No, they're not.
Home prices, public safety worries. So you don't buy it.
Well, first of all, let's talk about this survey. 500 people got surveyed in this deal, and those 500 were all reached by the landline on the phone. Hey, David, do you have a phone?
I do not. Well, I have a cellular phone.
Okay.
I don't think that's a landline.
Yeah.
though.
These are landline, 500. Okay. Now, let's get to it. Of this, they said a third. So that means that real quick, especially, they said in this, 67% said, nah, I'm not leaving Seattle. So let's talk about that. Cool, they're not leaving. Of the rest, the 33% that are leaving, 40% of them are renters. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I get why you want to go. Have y'all rented in Seattle these days? It's real expensive.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? These days, you got to get you about 2-3 girlfriends. 2-3 roommates to live to be able to afford a place. Now, of those that are homeowners, said that was like 20% of the homeowners that said they're considering leaving. Here's my point. I do believe that there are a lot of people that are like, yo, I can't afford to live in Seattle. I'm out of here. We've seen that. I believe that. But the people that own homes here are not leaving because, oh my goodness, the needles and all of the things. Where? Laurelhurst? Madison Park? Magnolia? Where you guys going? University Village. I'm trying to talk about the bad areas in Seattle that are so terrible. The bad areas in Seattle where the median home prices are $874,000. Where are you going?
Okay, so because my husband, so we live in the city of Seattle, and we have talked about moving.
Okay.
And yes, we do live on a nice street, but guess what? I have to go to the grocery store. I have to go to the restaurants. We don't live in a bubble. And like I said, for the most part, it's been pretty good. But it's not only the cost of or just the public safety issue, but it's also a lot of the businesses have to keep their prices so high to be able to afford their rent. So it's so nice when we go to Everett and go to a restaurant, we're like, oh my God, it's so much cheaper. Just a different life. So so the public safety piece is part of it. And again, you're talking to someone whose husband was just driving down a city of Seattle street and had a bullet go in his car. Sure. So you talk about these nice neighborhoods, Laurelhurst, Madison Park, et cetera, but eventually you got to leave your nice neighborhood and do the things you normally do.
Okay, so you're telling me, I want to make sure I got this straight, that you and your husband, you live on a nice street in Seattle. And okay, you live on a nice street, and then in order for you guys to be able to go out to dinner, you guys need to drive all the way to Everett just to enjoy a nice meal?
I'm not saying that. No, I'm saying that part of living in an area is not just the street you are on. You still have to go to the restaurant in your neighborhood that maybe is double the price of the restaurant in Everett because they have to.
You know what I did before I came in?
Goodness.
Let me tell you what I did before I came in, because I knew that you would come at this angle. So what I did was I looked up your social media, Angela Poe Russell.
Oh, goodness.
And on your social media, I went back almost a year. Are you ready for this? On your social media, do you realize not one time did you post anything about one problem at your grocery store? Not one time did you post about anything remotely bad happening. Not once. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but whatever happened at your local neighborhood grocery store, it was so small that it didn't make it to your social media.
Okay, isn't that what we do on social media? It's only the highlights of the good. Or it's like, I mean,
if you start spouting a bunch of negative stuff on social media, it's not a good
what
look.
I do.
But tell me what happened bad to you at the grocery store.
That's not what I do.
Tell me what
you know
happened
what?
bad.
I'm going to switch this because honestly, I'm exhausted by the conversation. No, seriously, I am exhausted by the conversation in general of people leaving the city. I have 3 people I know who have moved to the east side. They were living in Seattle and they left. But I'm exhausted. Bellevue. I'm exhausted by the conversation because I want to know what we're doing about making the city better, period. Like, I want to focus our energy on that. And first I was thinking, gee, should have been a lawyer. And then when you came my social media account, I was like, no, he got some work to do.
He does
I was
dirty.
Like, this is not good.
See you, my friend.
But I love you like a play cousin.
I love you back.